Check out this video about Pretendians.
Hello, my name is Sasheen Littlefeather.
We had state-sanctioned armed forces.
Willowdale with native roots, I have always said very clearly.
What do all these artists have in common?
They've been called wannabes.
Identity thief, race shifter.
They have been called indigenauts.
Oh, playing Indian is another one as well that we use.
Pretendians.
Pretendian, can you describe what that means to me?
It's used to describe people who are non-native, white, who for one reason or another have decided to take on the appearance and the history and the lineage of an indigenous person. So they pretend to be Indians, so they were called Pretendians.
Are you aware of any people who've been passing themselves off as
Of course I am.
Ngaitahi? Really? It is a thing?
Oh, it's a thing. They're all around. They're everywhere, usually in the academic world. There's been a few passing them off. They're everywhere.
It's not fair when, as I say, when so many of our people have experienced such loss and have such hunger for that connection, that we have these people who are purporting to be something they're not.
It's not new in Canada. Around 100 years ago, Grey Owl became a globally recognised environmentalist who championed the benefits of trapping.
When he died, I think, in 1936, the truth came out and it was discovered that he was from Hastings, England.
Real name? Archibald Stansfield Bellamy.
He said his mother was Scottish and his father was Apache. Now, as you may know, the Apache are nowhere near Canada. And the reason I say it has ramifications for today is many of the Pretendians today are sort of revealed by having sort of vague or unfocused tribal lineage, that they say they're from here, 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 or it changes from year to year, and people finally put together the fact that they're all over the place.
All over the place, but nowhere specific.
Yes, exactly. So today, within the last 10, 15 years, there's been this explosion of people. It seems to be they're mostly in the arts or academia, which is kind of odd. But I guess the first big story was an author named Joseph Boyden, who is the darling of the Canadian literary scene. He said he was from 6 different places or 6 different nations.
I have always said very clearly and carefully, a small part of me is Indigenous, but it's a big part of who I am.
A reporter spent time tracking his lineage and discovered he had absolutely no native blood in him whatsoever.
Buffy St. Marie.
Icon and artivist. 6 decades, 16 albums. Buffy St. Marie was a globally recognised inspirational and outspoken champion for Indigenous rights.
The Indians are in the worst state of poverty of any minority group in North America, not because we're stupid, not because we're poor slobs. It's because we've been mistreated.
For years, Buffy had claimed she was born on a Cree reservation in Canada. But in 2023, Buffy's whakapapa and backstory started to unravel.
My growing up mom, who was proud to be part Mi'kmaq, told me many things, including that I was adopted and that I was native.
Buffy was not adopted. She was a child of my grandfathers and my grandmothers. You know, I don't know how or when she started to create her story, but at this point, she's just raised in a Caucasian family.
I can say absolutely with 100% certainty that this is the original birth certificate. Beverly Jean Santa Maria was born in Stoneham, Massachusetts at New England Sanitarium and Hospital on February 20th, 1941. She was not born in Canada. And if anybody is saying otherwise, then they're misinformed, because this is proof.
Now in her 80s, Buffy was stripped of her Canadian State Honours and Music Industry Awards, given she wasn't actually Canadian.
To say to your parents, well, I'm not yours, after they raised you, and you're making up this fantasy story, is a way of saying to your own family that they are a fantasy.
For the family, it was always a bit of shock and awe about why she was doing this.
Allegations she wasn't Indigenous sent shockwaves inside Indigenous communities too. After the story broke, Buffy reworked hers. She switched to saying her indigeneity was authenticated when, as an adult, she was adopted into a Cree nation.
I also found a new family, a chosen family. And they took me in as an adult in accordance with Cree law and traditions, and they claimed me as their own.
When you adopt somebody ceremonially, you are making a family member, you are making a kin member, but you are not making a citizen. You are not making a band member. And I think a lot of Indigenous people don't understand that. I can go into ceremony and adopt somebody as my sister or my brother. It doesn't make them a Dakota person.
Buffy still insists she's Indigenous, although admits she is lacking in detail.
And to those who question my truth, I say with love, I know who I am.
Fun fact, I once plucked up the courage to ask Buffy St. Marie to collab on one of my songs. We met while playing at a big Sami festival in Norway. Buffy declined. Fair enough. But after those allegations came out, I thought, that was lucky. Anyway, my mates in Canada hooked me up with another artist, a great talent, incredible voice. I released my album in November 2024. And it was fabulous, until it wasn't. No mai ki te ao with Moana. We're back in 25, looking at the world around us through a Māori lens, connecting the dots across Aotearoa and beyond. The politics, the people, the stuff that affects our whānau. We're here for you. Challenging and celebrating as well. Every Monday night on Whakaata Māori. This song is off an album I released last year. Meet Jenny Larson from Canada. One of 6 Indigenous guest artists on the album, singing in their native languages. An award-winning playwright, stunning vocalist, Cree, Ojibwe, French whakapapa.
I picked up a book by Nancy Red Star called Star Ancestors, and I read that book. And I have to say that the book really, really opened up my mind about the possibilities and how it's specifically connected to not only some of our prophecies, but also some of our teachings within our communities.
Jenny was fabulous until she wasn't. Around the album release date, a Canadian news story broke revealing Jenny has no whakapapa to any native community and that her claims of Indigenous ancestry were vague at best. I was shocked. I reached out to her. Jenny wrote to me. She apologised for the position she put me in, says she'll no longer engage in what she calls Indigenous arts practice, but remains committed to honouring her unnamed ancestors who she claims were silenced by secrets, whatever that means. All of it raises some very interesting questions. So some people will claim a connection